Good morning, and a warm welcome to your show, Sunny Mornings, Ocean Beach. I'm your host, Melissa, and it's Wednesday, August 19th. You'll be interested to know. 66 years ago, today in 1960, the Soviet Sputnik 5 spacecraft safely returned 2 dogs alive after a successful orbital flight, marking a humane and scientific milestone in living spaceflight experiments. This achievement demonstrated that living beings could survive launch, orbit, and re-entry, advancing confidence for future human spaceflight and inspiring international interest in space science. So now you know. And now, it's time for the Surf Report. Wednesday at Ocean Beach. This morning it's looking choppy with waves around 2 to 3 plus feet. Conditions are fair until about noon when they stay around 2 to 3 feet. The wind is onshore at 7 miles per hour, picking up to 8 miles per hour by noon. Expect a slight increase to 3 plus feet later in the afternoon with the wind staying onshore. Best time to ride is at 8 a.m. with the 3-foot outgoing mid-tide when the west-northwest swell is 4 feet at 7 seconds. And the onshore wind is 5 miles per hour. The first high tide on Wednesday will be 4 feet at 6 a.m., followed by a 3-foot low tide at 10:30. The nearshore buoy in San Francisco Bar reads 60 degrees for the water temperature. Conditions start off fair with waves around 3 plus feet on Thursday, but choppy conditions develop later in the day as winds pick up. Friday maintains similar size with 2 to 3 feet. The wind leads to choppy surf in the afternoon. Saturday sees a slight decrease in size to 2 to 3 feet, but remains fair until winds create choppy conditions later. This morning, it's mostly cloudy and it feels like 62 degrees with 7 mile per hour wind. The sunset will take place at 7:57 and it will rise again tomorrow at 6:30. It looks like we're in for some mostly cloudy skies today, with a high near 62 and a light west-southwest breeze around 8 miles per hour. If you're inland, it will hit a high of 65. Tonight, expect mostly cloudy conditions with a low around 58 and a moderate west wind around 12 miles per hour. Looking ahead in the weather. This morning, it's mostly cloudy and it feels like 62 degrees with 7 mile per hour wind. The sunset will take place at 7:57 and it will rise again tomorrow at 6:30. It looks like we're in for some mostly cloudy skies today with a high around 60 and a mild breeze. Tonight, expect continued mostly cloudy conditions with a low of 56 and light winds picking up a bit. Bonjour, food enthusiasts. This podcast is brought to you by Versailles Cafe and Pastries in Encinitas. Nestled on El Camino Real South, just north of Encinitas Boulevard, this cafe is a haven for culinary delights. Indulge in their amazing Eggs Benedict or their gluten-free crepes. You can grab a panini for lunch or just breeze on through to get your morning coffee. They are open every day from 8 to 5. So stop on by and don't forget to tell them Sunny Morning sent you. In local news. This week in Oakland, August is bustling with exciting events, including a free performance by rapper Kamaya at Latham Square and the 8th annual Afrobeats Festival at Snow Park. The festival, celebrating the African diaspora, will feature Afropop British Ghanaian DJ Jules and Nigerian DJ Neptune on Saturday, August 22nd, from 1 to 8 p.m., with tickets starting at $24 and children under 16 admitted for free. Additionally, the Oakland Review of Books will celebrate its launch-iversary on Thursday, August 20th, at Heli's Mile High Club, with a free event starting at 6 p.m. and a $15 donation requested. Now on to sports. It may seem odd that the sale of the San Diego Padres and the Los Angeles Lakers would become a flashpoint for Major League Baseball's push for a salary cap. But make no mistake, the league and the Major League Baseball Players Association are already teeing it up. For all the talk by Major League Baseball Commissioner Rob Manfred about listening to fans regarding implementing a salary cap, underneath the surface is something tied to it that would massively inflate owner profits: increased franchise valuations. On Monday, Major League Baseball's owners unanimously approved the record-setting $3.8 billion sale to the new ownership group of the San Diego Padres. Meanwhile, Mark Walters sold the Los Angeles Lakers to Bob Iger and Joshua Kushner for an eye-popping $12.5 billion. In local sports, the Giants are in trouble in Cleveland. San Francisco dropped the opener 8-1 to the Guardians yesterday. Carson Whisenhunt tagged for 7 runs and falling to 3-4 with a bloated 7.03 ERA. Bryce Eldridge provided the only spark with a homer. The Giants slide to 51-74, just 3-7 over their last 10, and now trail this series 0-1. They are back at it this afternoon. 3:40 first pitch. Adrian Hauser opposite Cleveland's Parker Messick, looking to even things before Thursday's finale. Over at the Niners, roster cuts are in full swing, down to 75 players with the 53-man deadline hitting Friday. Christian McCaffrey is expected back at practice after sitting out joint work with the Chargers, who San Francisco visits tomorrow night in preseason Game 2. Quarterback Curtis Rourke remains sidelined with a rib injury. Meanwhile, the Warriors won't have Jimmy Butler or Moses Moody for opening night, both still working back from major injuries, leaving Golden State with just 13 available bodies and 2 roster spots still unfilled after a quiet free agency. In top news, State Farm is sending $5 billion in dividend checks to customers. Millions of customers are receiving checks after the company's largest dividend in history was announced earlier this year. More than 7.2 million checks have been mailed since payments began on July 31st, with another 3.8 million set to go out this week, according to Steve Baldwin, a spokesperson for State Farm. Customers with an auto insurance policy in force between January 1st, 2025 and December 31st, 2025 are eligible for a refund. The average refund will be $100 per vehicle, but exact amounts vary based on premiums paid. In business news, prediction market platform Kalshi, in a regulatory filing on Tuesday, revealed it is seeking to launch perpetual futures tied to equity indexes. This latest move aims to expand beyond its prediction markets offerings, which began in late May when Kalshi first received approval for perpetual futures tied to cryptocurrencies. Perpetual futures, colloquially known as perps, are contracts without expiration, allowing traders to track asset prices continuously. Kalshi's US 500 perp would tie to the Mercubi US Large Cap Index, tracking the largest 500 companies in the U.S. Last month, Kalshi proposed perps tied to precious metals and is now seeking approval for perps linked to industrial metal copper. Kalshi stated perps had over $90 trillion in global volume in 2025. In crypto movement, Bitcoin is unchanged at about $64,000. Ethereum is up 1% to just over 1,900. And XRP is unchanged at $1. Moving on to a more local vibe. In our community spotlight on health and wellness, we are working with a national Pilates studio to bring you some free classes, so listen up. Check out Club Pilates, with several locations in the San Diego area. Pilates presents a comprehensive wellness approach, cultivating strength, reducing tension, and elevating mental well-being. Scientific research affirms its benefits. So now you can check out Club Pilates for a free class, with locations in Encinitas, Solana Beach, Oceanside, La Jolla, and more. Just be sure to tell them Sunny Morning sent you by. And now, back to the show. Let's talk tech. Against all odds, SpaceX finally tows Starship into port after 24 days at sea. The spacecraft splashed down in the Indian Ocean, intact after flying halfway around the world from SpaceX launch base in South Texas. Engineers expected the ship's life to end with a fiery disintegration after toppling over, just as past Starships have done. A recovery ship towed the spacecraft engine first several hundred miles across the Indian Ocean to Christmas Island and Australian territory. SpaceX announced the ship's arrival on Tuesday. A team of SpaceX engineers is on their way to conduct additional analysis on the vehicle before attempting to return it to Starbase. And in entertainment news, Paramount Plus' two-part masterpiece spy thriller is exactly what Day of the Jackal fans should watch next. Viewers have numerous options in the spy thriller genre, from Netflix' The Night Agent to Slow Horses on Apple TV. A standout addition is Peacock's The Day of the Jackal, which premiered on November 14, 2024, earning an 84% rating from critics on Rotten Tomatoes. As its second season approaches in 2027, The Agency, which debuted on November 29, 2024, offers fans high-stakes intrigue. With an impressive cast and a gripping storyline, The Agency is becoming a must-watch in the genre. Well, alrighty folks, it's time for the quote of the day. And today, our quote comes from the American astronaut and physicist, Sally Ride. And she said, "Science is fun. Science is curiosity. We all have natural curiosity. Science is a process of investigating. It's posing questions and coming up with a method. It's delving in." And that's a wrap for this morning. You can check out our Instagram, YouTube, and TikTok for some captivating aerial videos with local news and the surf reports. Have an amazing day, my good friends. We'll see you tomorrow with another episode of Sunny Mornings, Ocean Beach.